All right, I'm going to switch screens here. And of course, you can't see me. All right. Hey guys, I'm Doctor McFarland. For some reason, my Canon camera is not turning on. I'm not quite sure why that is, but I'm going to use the Brio today just as a rough and dirty option here. And I am plugged into my interface. So let's pull up the HyperRig Kiesel plugin like so. And this is a really good plugin. This is what I mainly use when I'm playing at a computer desk and I don't have a digital mauler in front of me. Okay, let's figure out where this is being routed to. I do have my guitar plugged into input number 4, which you can't really see over here. All right, there's my guitar input. But my output is coming out of DAW 1 and 2. Let's change that to amp left and right. Because I want my... I pretty much want my my amp sim plugins to come out of a certain output. So, let's see what we're going to do here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it should be 5 and 6. This is going to be a similar setup depending on your audio interface and what you have going on. And if your interface actually has loopback or some kind of way of getting audio from your computer back through the interface and so forth. All right, so now you can see that I have outputs coming out of this one, and I'll bring it up. Okay, and I'll actually go and mute. I will mute my guitar signal here. Okay, so the maple is a clean amp, and then the carbon is like your rhythm, crunchy type stuff, and then the infusion is your high gain option. So I'm just kind of tweaking my levels here, turning this all the way up. Okay, sounds pretty good overall. Let's go back to our plugin. Maybe I'll bring the output up just a little bit. But anyway, if y'all have any questions or comments about anything gear-wise or music theory-wise or recording-wise, let me know. I have a recording session coming up this weekend, and it's pretty much going to be a digital setup. It's going to have the electronic drums, which is right back here, the F Note 5 kit. And the keyboard player, I think, has a Nord of some sort, and also maybe some GarageBand type stuff that he's playing off of a computer. So he's just going to go direct. The bass player is going to go direct, probably through one of my digital maulers. And then the guitar player, apparently he's a really hardcore tube amp guy. But I'm going to be like, look, dude, this is not the place for a tube amp. We're all going direct. Just keep the noise level down and just make it easier on myself, please. Right? Mark in the Mix has made it to a live. Everybody, let's applause here. And we also have a bicycle horn. Congratulations. So yes, I do go live every Tuesday at 4 p.m. Central Time. And I'll end somewhere around 5 o'clock. I try not to go too long on these live streams. But I was going live later at night and after the kids go to bed. So I kind of wanted to experiment to see if during the earlier in the day I got better viewership or just anything changes at all. And you know, sometimes it was kind of hit or miss depending on what it was. Mark, I do have a friend who is borrowing my Kemper stage at the moment. So I don't have my Kemper stage with me. And funny enough, I made a post on Facebook about my Kemper stage and all that. And for some reason, the admins finally approved it like months later. So I had this new post on the Kemper stage Facebook group that, I basically said, hey, the Kemper is my main rig right now and all that stuff. And not saying it hasn't changed, but, I have the Towmaster Pro right here in front of me on the desk. I have a Helix floor on the floor behind me. I have so many amp sim plugins available to me. The headrush stuff. Every time I try to look at the fractal units again, maybe adding an FM9 to my collection, I'm like, I just don't know if I want to spend the money and if I want to go through all the issues of dealing with the UI and all that kind of stuff. So it would be fun to experiment. If I could find someone close that would let me borrow their FM series fractal unit, I would like to borrow one just to try out the gapless switching on the FM9 and the FM3. I'm not sure if anyone would be willing to let me do that. Because if you're a hardcore fractal user, then you're more than likely going to keep the unit. And if you're looking to sell it, well, you just want to sell it and take the money and not just have someone borrow it for a month or however long I would want to borrow it from. So anyway, it's an interesting situation where, all the gear is great and you want to make videos on all of it, but you only have so much money that you can tie up in gear just kind of laying around, not doing a whole lot kind of thing. Like, for example, I bought this Helix floor from Sweetwater at the end of 2023. So it was like December 2023. And I've been paying like $41 a month on it because I just put on my Sweetwater credit card. And I still owe like almost $1,200 on it. Yeah, you barely put any dent at all when you're paying $40-something a month. So it is what it is. So I technically have money tied up in a Helix. Thankfully, Zounds did send me out the Towmaster Pro for me to make videos with. And I do appreciate that. I'm not looking for anything for free. I will pay for things if I need to. But if a company wants to reimburse me for my time of making videos, either on their behalf or because I'm a advocate for the brand or something, then, I don't mind that relationship as well. So, and plus I get tons of emails from like Amazon companies going, oh, I'm not going to try impersonate anybody, but hey, we have a keyboard that we want you to try out. It's like, okay, great. So send me a keyboard, and then I don't hear from them. Or like there's another company I possibly have the option to review like a wireless unit, and they haven't sent it out yet. So I don't know if it was just because of the Christmas holidays or the New Year or what, but they'll slow at getting stuff in my hands for me to actually review and make content for the channel. So otherwise, I just kind of take it upon myself to get something and do some sort of video manual. Just literally just go through the actual manual and just make videos about each section. So I can therefore teach you guys how to use these units and hopefully make some kind of music with them. And so that way you're not struggling on where to click, where to push, where to slide your finger, how to use anything and all that stuff. So here's the plugin here in front of me. And we just have a nice clean option. So I am playing, you can't really see, but I am playing my very small Kiesel Leia. I think it was named after a dog that Jeff Kiesel had, also after a Star Wars theme, apparently, or something. So maybe he was a Star Wars fan before, and then named the dog Leia, and then he wanted to come out. I think the dog died, and then he wanted to come out with a model in, in respect to the dog or something. I don't know. But anyway, it's a very cool guitar. It's a headless guitar. You put the strings through to the end over here, and then you attach them down on the other end. And this is a 7-string with a walnut neck and alder body, or wings, if you will. And it does have a trim system on it, or trim arm. And it's just a cool little guitar, very lightweight. I did kind of go too far on this build. I put gold frets on it and a really nice top and whatever else, which otherwise I probably could have saved quite a bit of money and not have gone so far on the specs. But I figured, hey, if I'm gonna do a build, I might as well go all out on it and figure out a way to pay for it later. So okay, so let's click on the wide. It's already wide, but and let's make sure that our panning is the way we want. So that way we have the nice stereo sound. Okay. So there's our clean tone. We can push it a little bit. Now, I didn't think about this before, but the thought just literally came into my head. I did get an email from Headrush asking, hey, what's your thoughts on the new amp cloner plugin and all this stuff? And so this is what's interesting about the world that we're living in now. We can take the Kemper, we can take the Quad Cortex, we can take the amp clone software and or the Headrush Core or the Headrush Prime. Not the Flex Prime, because you can't do cloning on that, but you can on the plug-in and the larger units. And we can essentially take, let's just take Headrush, for example. I can take the tones from this plug-in and I can make a clone of it, okay? And then I can go to the Carbon sound and then kind of dial in something. And that's loud, I'm sorry. I think my clean tone was a little lower in volume, so. Okay, so we have that, and then we can go to the Infusion, which is more high gain lead stuff. Okay, so I have essentially 3 different sounds that I can work off of and make clones of. And then within the software, I'm going to make myself a little bit bigger here. And then within the software, I can combine those clone files together and make a super clone that I can then import into my Flex Prime, which is a really small Headrush unit, and get the best of both worlds. I can get the sound from my plug-in into a portable unit that I can go then play at church or a live gig or a country gig bar somewhere, or just jamming with friends or whatever I want to do. So it's very cool being able to literally clone anything I want. Now, I did pay for this plug-in personally, so I'm not like I'm not stealing money from Kiesel. But I guess if I made super clones and then sold them on my website, which I'll end up doing eventually, maybe that keeps somebody from not having to buy the plug-in. They can just get the sounds and put them in their Headrush, and you get what I'm saying, right? It's like, well, at some point, are you really stealing from the company, or are you just making things just to make them, or I don't know, whatever. So it's a very touchy subject for a lot of people. I've seen rants from different YouTubers in the past, like, how dare you make profiles with your Kemper because now you're stealing from the tube amp companies and whatever else. Which, if you weren't going to buy the tube amp anyway, I mean, then no one's really hurting because you weren't going to give them your money anyway. But if you were on the fence of like, oh, I need a tube amp versus buying a Kemper, and you just bought the Kemper because you can get all the profiles you would never need anyway and not have to buy the amp, then, well, there you go. But there's something about the uniqueness of dial. It doesn't have to be a plug-in. It can literally just be anything. I can take my little pig nose amp, like a little battery-powered pig nose amp, and I could dial in sounds with that amp, capture it or clone it or profile it, all whatever adjectives or verbs you want to. I think verbs. Yeah, it's a verb. Cloning is a verb. You can go through that process and essentially store your own settings that maybe nobody else would have thought of, creating. So now you're creating something new with tools that already exist. And now you're putting in this clone file that you can load into your Headrush, or making a profile that you can load into your Kemper, or making a capture that you can load into your Quad Cortex, and all the different other verbs that we can think about here. So okay, so let's just say I go in and I want to push this. I want to bring down the bass, bring down the gain, add some mids, turn on some overdrive, and now I have a different sound that I can make a clone of, or make a clone of. And then, depending on where you put that gain position on the amp cloner pedal, you can essentially morph or transition from one clean sound into a rhythm sound, and then into the gain sound or higher gain sound, just by adjusting that gain knob. It's really cool. And I gave an example on that back in November when I did my live stream for the Headrush, and I showed how to take the stock Super Clone plugin and essentially make 3 different block presets from that. So I had a low gain, a medium gain, and then a high gain sound, and you can just call it up via a scene, and you can have all your cleans, rhythms, leads, all right there dialed in on the pedal. And it's pretty cool. So all right, this is fun. Let's make some music real fast because we can. All right, so what I'm going to do is pull up my Mix Bus 10. I'll probably use I will probably use Superior Drummer 3. Yes, SD3. Yeah, that's right. So I'm going to go here and, whoa, this is really small. How can I make that smaller? I need to do this. Something like that. All right, that works. All right, so go here, go to MIDI track, and let's go down to Superior Drummer. I'm not going to do the multi-outs because I just don't care. It doesn't need it. But we'll just do that. When I use Superior Drummer, I mainly just, do all the drums within the plugin. But I will drag out the drums. Right, we need to make sure we get this, turn the cache off so everything gets loaded up. So we'll wait for that to happen. let's go to the grooves and let's just find a. I don't even know. Let's look for a metal thing. What does this do? Oh my. Oh my. Okay, we should be playing here. That sounds like poop. All right, let's go to this first. All right, let's do a country shuffle. That'll be fine. And then we'll just go in here and we'll put it on the grid. Like so. And then we'll just duplicate it out. However much. Some people, in other DAWs, you can like grab the edge. But in Mixbus, that doesn't loop the thing. You just do Command D and it duplicates it out. And it's fine, folks. It'll be fine. So now I'm going to add a audio track. We'll call this guitar. And since we're doing a little thing here, we're going to do a blues. Actually, I need to make this stereo. So let me delete it. And then we'll make it stereo. Turn down my guitar for a second. We're going to arm the track. And we're going to G sim left and right. Okay. All right, so let's read some comments from Mark in the Mix. What's up? All right, so lots of gray area today in the amp and guitar biz. It seems like it's a matter of survival. If you don't profile it or capture it, your competition absolutely will. Yes, that's true. I will definitely capture it. I absolutely think tube amps companies will endorse captures and profiles just to get a kickback, just to make some money. I know it's been done, but it's going to be more. The interesting thing about the Amp X, for example, from Thomas Blug, his Blug prints are going to be his Blug prints are going to be for sale. Which is really, I mean, he's doing the work of recreating the amp in the analog world with all the components and stuff he's going to have in the Amp X. And those will be for sale. So he's not just giving those away versus, you know, me taking the sounds on the Blue Guitar Amp 1 and then profiling them to put into a Kemper. You know, it is what it is. So, all right, let's go to my Kiesel rig here. Let's go back to my clean sound. We'll turn down the treble. And we'll also turn off the delay. I don't know if I want to play in the key of D or not, but we'll do something. I'll turn on the metronome. Ba-da-boo-da-doo-da. Okay, so I got a few bars of that going, and now let's see where we are in the mix here. All right, one issue we have here is all of our outputs. So let's select all these. We'll make them all go out output 1. I had them routed for a different instance, but okay. Let me grab my bass. Grabbing my bass, yeah, yeah. All right, so what I'm kind of showing you right now is you don't need tube amps. You don't need even a real amp to make music. If you had some kind of amp sim plugin, and I'm using it going through a loopback channel on my interface, but if you want to record a dry guitar and then add on a plugin later to change the sounds, then that's, you know, that's the thing that you can do. Let's do a bass guitar, but let's have this be mono. And instead of having 2 sides, we're just going to have the left side of the guitar sim plug-in, which is fine. And then we'll turn the width off. Maybe not have reverb on the Okay, let's try this out. We're gonna record a little bass guitar. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me try that again. I forgot what I played on the electric, so 1, 2, 1, go. Okay, pretty good for that. Turn this down. So now we got 3 different elements we can kind of jam to. Okay, I'll go ahead and duplicate this out. And bada bing. And now let's just go ahead and loop this whole area. What's up, Richard and Goo Doggy? What's up, guys? Alright, let's go to my rhythm sound here. Okay, go to my neck pickup here. So I'm just looping. Let me go ahead and save this. Blues loop jam. 1725. That's the date. Great. I'm gonna turn down this doll music just a little bit. Actually, I'm gonna turn it up. Turn down my amp. Alright, cool. And I got a little keyboard right here off to my side. You can't really see it. But let's go ahead and add another MIDI track. And let's see what we got here. Let's try to use let's do the Hammond. I don't know which one this is going to be, but I'm not sure what brand it is. Which brand is this? Is it Arturia? Nope, it's IK Multimedia. Cool. It's thinking. It is thinking. And we're going to be using this. Okay, well. I got audio. Not hearing anything though. Great. I mean, it's just fun playing with different stuff here. Sometimes, I don't know why, but sometimes I'm gonna shut down Mixbus, then reopen it. Goo Doggy, where are you from, man? Where are you from? Then we got Richard in the house. blues jam. I'm just going to lay down a quick little this is dumb. Let's turn this off, turn it back on. Okay, when I choose the drums, I hear it. When I choose this one, I don't hear it. And I don't know why. I don't know why. I just don't know. Yeah, I see level, but I don't have anything. Let's make another track real fast. Let's just make another MIDI track. Let's do the drill MIDI synth this time. I hear that one. Don't know what's going on with the Hammond. All right, so let's go in and let's choose. Let's just do a rock organ, like a tone wheel organ. We got something going on here. Channel 1. Force everything on channel 1. Playback on channel 1. Okay. All right, so we're playing a D chord. Go a little higher. Let's go with a C and F sharp. Let's just see what happens here. You got the Flex Prime and loving it. That's cool. Uh-oh, Bruce Kasperzak's in the house. What's up, man? Here we go. Buy that and do and do. Oh yeah. All right, cool. That was crap, but you know, whatevs. So what I can do now is go in and do a Control 5. I can quantize this stuff just a little bit, just to help my performance. And then we can just play it back. All right, here we go. Something didn't get, let me change this loop. It needs to go right there. There we go, loop it. Here we go. All right. So there's a little blues jam with some Superior Drummer drums and guitar, bass, and a little organ. Still don't know why my Hammond B3 is not playing. That is just dumb. Should have been playing just fine. So I can click on it. Right? I can do all that kind of stuff. Let's see here. Leslie speed. Hammond profile. Leslie break. There's all the different MIDI notes. You can assign those to if you need to. Stomps. It's kind of cool. Cabs. So you got the real Hammond organ sound in there. Let's do this. Let's take my performance and hold control and bring it up and see what that does. There we go. Whatever. Yeah, sounds good. Yes, sir. Nice. All right. I think it sounds really good. There's really no excuses these days for not getting a great sound when recording, especially when you're using virtual instruments. Like I got, quote unquote drums from a superior drummer, which these are all sampled and recorded immaculately, and they just sound really good. And then we got the drums that look like this, got all the cool sounds there. Now I can technically trigger these drum sounds from my F-Note kit, which is even better. And I have one or two options for my recording session this week or this weekend. I can either use the sounds directly off of the F-Note, or I can record sounds through the Superior Drummer standalone software and record that into the computer that way as well. Which my settings are, no, not that one. I want to be under settings and then advanced. No, that's not it. Where are my settings here? I think I have to be under something else. Yeah, that's not a plug-in thing. That's going to be the standalone plug-in option. But yeah, but depending on what they want to do, I mean, I can go either way, but this is going to sound really good. So, let's see. Let's talk about some gear real fast. All kinds of options here. I have recently posted a video on the PRS DGT SE. And we'll go to the zounds.com. And I do have affiliate links in the description of all my videos. And I'll go ahead and update the description of this video when I'm done streaming here in the next few minutes. But if you want to buy, if you're going to go buy a Flex Prime or any other piece of gear and you want to help support the channel, then just click on my Zounds link in the description and I'll get a kickback from that at no extra cost to you. So it's greatly appreciated. There's just some cool guitars. So let's see what Epiphone has going on these days. I have a Epiphone Sheraton right here behind me. Which I've actually had for about 25 years, which is kind of neat. Now this is the new Les Paul or Epiphone Les Paul. So they have the classic headstock there, which is pretty cool. It does say Epiphone on it. And I would not mind trying one of these out. I can get one in for a review and then send it back. But I just want to get my hands on stuff and let you guys know what I think about different things. Set up in the USA, inspected, yeah, crafted in China. So $12.99 for a Chinese-made guitar. I mean, it's not like a sweatshop or anything. I'm sure they have a really nice setup over there. I just don't know. I don't know if I want to spend $1,300 on a Chinese-made guitar. Maybe it doesn't matter anymore. Maybe all these import. If you've watched Tone Junkie channel here lately, he's been showing off, some Harley Benton stuff and comparing it to a lot of his vintage guitars, and he's like, these guitars are great. So really the what you can do with manufacturing these days and CNC machines and just all the stuff, you can really make some great products and make it a very low cost as well. If that's your goal, if that is your goal. So Richard, if you're still watching, or Goodoogie, what have you used before as far as like your guitar setup, and then what do you use now? I mean, obviously, like Richard said, he uses the Flex Prime, so I'm kind of interested on what you had before you got the Flex Prime. You know, were you using solid state amps? Were you using tube amps? Did you have a floorboard full of pedals? Or maybe you're just a brand new guitar player and you don't have any past experience with anything. And that's anything you do is fine. I mean, we all have to start somewhere. So I'd just be interested in what you had prior to getting the Flex Prime. Let's see what else we can look up here. Recording interfaces. If you're wanting to get into recording, the Focusrite stuff is good. It does not have a loopback channel on it, like I'm using my plug-in right now. And then the Babyface that does, but it's $1,000. So, you know, something for $400, the 18i8, I have used that in the past, and it's really good. You got 8 total inputs, so 4 XLR on the front, or actually 4 combo jacks on the front, and then 4 more line inputs on the back. You got 4 line outputs. You got your MIDI. You do use a power supply with it, and it has 8 more optical or ADAT inputs on the back as well. So $400. That gets you a lot of things you can do. You can do four different microphones, and then you can plug in some digital maulers into the back. This was $449, and now it's $399. So while supplies last. So if you're looking for a good audio interface for your studio, this is a pretty decent option, and it comes with some software, like some reverbs and a Marshall amp sim kind of thing, and addictive drums for drumming. You got piano, some nice Focusrite processing there. So really with this one package, you can do exactly what I just did in Mixbus, and you can create everything virtually, and then just grab a guitar and, you know, do some jamming that way. So I have heard of the Source Audio pedals. I've never owned one or tried one. See if Zounds even has it. Source Audio, they do. Yeah, like for instance, like this delay reverb. You spent just a little bit more on the Headrush Flex Prime and got way more amps and effects versus what you could do with this one pedal right here. Every time I try to even consider putting together a pedal board, I'm like, I just can't do it. There's too many things that I would miss by adding a bunch of pedals. Like this is like one delay pedal is $329. I just can't do that. Not knowing that you can get so much more out of a all-in-one unit like this. Microphone wise, I have the Rode NT2A. That's what I use as my main microphone. It is $400, but you got variable, you got selectable polar patterns, high pass filters, and pad. And it looks good. It sounds good. It works on everything from vocals to acoustic to drum overheads to snares to kick drums to just literally anything you want. guitar cabs. You can mic anything with it and get a good sound with that. Let's see, what else do we have here? The Lewitt microphones. These things are really cool. So what you're getting here for $349, this is the Lewitt Ray XLR. And what it does right here is it automatically detects the volume level that you're at, and it either raises or lowers the mic gain, depending on if you get really close to the mic or if you get really far away. It'll make your dynamic range a lot less, and it'll just kind of smooth out your performance. So that would be a really good microphone. I wouldn't mind trying that one out, actually. I have a pretty decent mic right here. This is just a Amazon, or a mic you can get off of Amazon. It's called the Stellar X2 from Vintage, or just the Stellar X2 Vintage mic. And it has like a U67 type capsule in there, and it sounds fine. You know, it's just, you know, I think any microphone these days sound pretty good. Plus, I just don't have a very high standard, I guess, for microphones, because most of my studio is digital anyway. So, Brooke Gentile O'Bannon, what's up, girl? This girl has a voice right here. She can sing really good. I don't know anything about this side of music. Well, let's pick a weekend, Brooke, and let's have you come up and we'll work on some music together. How about that? That'd be fun. We should totally do that. New here, looking into Headrush Core for my wife's vocals. Okay. So I have an interesting thought about doing vocals through a multi-effects processor. If you are doing a solo gig, and if you're doing a solo gig and you want to control the sound of your voice and your guitar or any other instrument at the same time, then the Headrush would be a good option for that. If you show up to gigs that already has a sound man and he's going to control how much reverb you have on your voice and the EQ and all that stuff, then I would just say let him control it and don't worry about your vocals going through a digital mauler, because that's just one more thing you got to worry about. And then you have to build it into your presets and whatever else. So it just really depends on what she is doing with her voice, and if she's playing other instruments, or if she's doing YouTube stuff and wants to be able to control different things about her voice and the amount of reverb it has. I don't know, just whatever. I'm always interested to know what use cases other people need this stuff for. Yeah, I think Brooke is asking about the mic. Yeah, these mics are really cool. I would say if you got this mic, Brooke, and this little Focusrite interface I was showing not too long ago, which one is it? It was this one. So essentially for $800, you could have a really nice mic with a good interface and be able to live stream, because this has a loopback channel so you can live stream with it and just do all kinds of stuff. So yeah, you could probably get away for something cheaper possibly, but this is a good option for sure. I'm going to go practice a little bit. That's good. Well, I just recently cut my son's hair, and I cut my girl's hair recently. Nothing too crazy, just, straight across the bottom. Cutting off the dead ends. And, but yeah, if you want me to cut your hair, I will definitely do that. I like the old-timey looking ones. Well, as far as microphones, you have to let me know. But anyway, it is past 5 o'clock, and I've had some fun doing some blues jams here. So I'll cut you out with a little blues, and then we'll see you in the next video. Okay, guys? Be sure to subscribe down below. Click the bell for future notifications. And if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. And otherwise, I am Dr. McFarland. I'll see you in the next video. Had the metronome on. All right, guys. Y'all take care.